I mean, I've been called dumb once or twice in my life.
You want to touch it?
I think we just let this thing play out for maybe 45 minutes, call it a good show, wrap it up.
Just the back of our heads the whole show.
That's
like
right.
This playing on loop.
That's right. Probably a way better show anyway. What's going on, everybody?
Oh, boy.
I'm Nick,
I am Kevin.
allegedly, and this is the #1 podcast on Twitch. Allegedly.
Based out of Glendale.
Based-
from a bedroom.
That's true. We are.
That airs on Mondays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific.
What do you think the chances of us being the #1 Twitch podcast in Glendale? Gotta be high.
I would say at least like 1 in 5, right?
DJ's in the chat.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Donut McDonald. Hey, DJ, speaking of which, I see you got art pumping out. I see you're scribbling and doodling on a daily basis. In the next couple of weeks, if you have a bunch of new artwork, let's get him back on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, how about this?
Why isn't he like DJ Doodles?
DJ. Whoa, you should be DJ Doodles. That's a pretty. That is at least your new microphone name.
That should be like if you start spinning.
Yes.
You start spinning.
DJ Doodles. I love it. Okay, yeah, let's get you back on the show. I'd love to have some more artwork on here. And then I'd like to do it, now that we just said it out live, I would like to do another segment of me and you drawing something.
Yeah.
My artwork is terrible, and I think it needs to be made fun of.
All right, DJ. Looking for suggestions.
Yes. Give us, so
Give us a thing,
that's really tough to draw.
but is easy to identify.
yes, there you go.
But I'm saying, like,
In
the
another
Mona
language.
Lisa is easy to identify.
Yes. I already
The United
copied.
States.
Oh, DJ Scribbles. Hey, DJ,
All right,
you know what?
Scribbles,
I
all
like
right.
DJ Scribbles. He was going for alliteration with Doodles, but I respect DJ Scribbles. Excuse me.
I think it's a little too close to DJ Diddles. That's not good.
I don't like DJ Diddles. I do like the word Diddles, but it implies negative things.
It's become not as awesome as it used to be.
That's right. Welcome to the show, guys. As always, if you've never seen the show before, we like to keep it positive. We like to keep some new, fresh subjects going. We try to give you guys something different and not throw just politics and coronavirus down your throat. So today we've got some good stories. We've got some tech stories. We've got some goofy stories. Man, it's gonna be a good show today.
Any Mickey Mouse stories? We got a Goofy story. Oh, I was wondering if we had a Mickey Mouse story.
Well, hey, look, man, if we should. We like to start positive. So, Lamb, let's start positive. We always like to get off on a good note. How's your week going, man? Everything going well?
It's going all right. I gotta say, these kids are getting pretty good at this whole online workout thing we've been doing.
Yeah, online teaching.
Yeah, well, I do the PE and the art too, but the PE, they've been really getting it. Like,
No
they're in
offense-
there just like working hard.
No offense to you, but Lamb did tell me the other day that he does the PEs for the students, but he also does the art class for the students. Look, this is not a knock on Lamb, but what it reminds me of is that, like, when I was a kid, you look to adults as like the people that knew everything, right? Like, if you were in
Yeah.
a music class, you were like, this guy probably played for the president at some point, right? Like, this is an art class.
He could play every instrument that's ever been made.
100%. If they're a history teacher, you just assume you could walk up to them and be like, 1784, what happened, right?
Well, starting in January, it's a cold January.
But it's funny to me that you're a pretty good drawer, a pretty good artist, but I would not say that you have any real training.
I mean, like, I know about art. I know enough about the topics. It is an elective.
Yeah, okay.
For middle school students, let's get
Right,
that out there. There's
right.
no, like, college credit
Right.
being bowled out or
Yeah.
high school, like, graduation requirements. It's more an exposure to art class than anything else.
But you know what I mean? Like,
But yeah. But, like, my formal art training is the classes I took in, like, high school and college.
That's
Like,
what
it's
I'm-
not, like, any...
Yeah.
Like, anything crazy.
Like I said, I feel like for me, anytime I look to a teacher, I said, man, I bet they know so much about the subject. I like just hope
I'm really good at Googling before class, kids.
that actually, and that's true. That is really like a good lesson for life. Like, I watch Parks and Rec all the time, and one of the things that she says on there, one of the main characters says is, here's the big secret to life. Everybody's just making shit up, right? And like, that is the honest to God truth. Like,
So true.
Every
teacher.
every job I've ever gotten, like, I would say, like, yeah, I could definitely do this job. They're like, the manager's like, or, whoever I'm interviewing says, like, this is what you need to be doing. We're going to ask you to bring in sales. We're going to ask you to do this and this with clients. In the back of my head, I had literally done none of that. but you're just required to learn it. Like, you think that, like, if I get a job doing X in your future, that they're going to, like, walk you through, or you're going to be really formally trained. You just make shit up as we go.
Yeah.
Speaking of making shit up as we go, let's get back to the show. First positive story. Let's start positive. You have a good positive story. I want you to start it.
Yeah, Pau Gasol out there is he recently had a daughter, and him and his wife named their daughter after Gianna Bryant.
Paul Gasol is a basketball player, if you're not a sporty at all.
Yeah, there is a rather large connection to Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
They played together for probably like 10 plus years.
Won a couple championships
Yeah.
together. So Paul Gasol, I believe it was the middle name she went with, Gianna, right? As for his daughter?
Yeah.
So very, very cool.
But still, like,
First
such a
off-
nice, like, just a classy touch.
Very, very classy touch. I think that he was. Look, this is not meant to joke at the subject, but I think they were blessed in the sense that Gianna's like at least a very cool name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
like so. I think that-
Augustus.
right, Bernardo or
Yeah.
something, or Gertrude or something. No, Gianna's like a cool name. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. Paul Gasol kind of shouting out his former teammate and the great Kobe Bryant. But we also have another cool story. Like I said, if you've never been a part of the show before, we always like to start positive. We like to get off to a good start, man. Like I said, there's just not enough good stories going around. And correct me if I'm wrong. I miss the days. We talked about this a little in the other show about like things that used to be better, right? I miss the day of going up to a buddy. We're hanging out. Midway through hangout, he goes, "Yo, did you hear about a week ago, yada, yada, yada happened?" And 98% of the time, you said, "Nah, I didn't hear about that. Tell me all about it." Nowadays, something could happen 40 minutes ago. I come up to you and be like, "Yo, did you know a volcano erupted and an alien came out?" You'd be like, "Yeah, dude, here's all the details on it," right?
I've been live streaming the whole event.
Right, everybody knows everything all the time. You can't even surprise anybody with anything, and it bums me out. I miss being able to like roll up on somebody and be like, "I got the story, and you don't know anything about it."
I'm about to blow your mind.
Never happens anymore, man. Everybody knows everything all the time. It's annoying. Here's what we should do. Here's a good idea. Going forward, we need to actually get rid of our cell phones and go back to pagers, right? If you want to call somebody, just give them a page. Well, you know what? Screw all that. Scratch all that.
I'm cool with like
Just a calling device.
I was gonna say text. I was gonna
That's
say
fine, too.
I was gonna say one of those like old school T9s.
Yes.
Like just a little like LCD screen. It's literally just letters. I can't even get GIFs. I can't get photos. There's nothing.
No news on it, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you will enjoy hearing a story from your friend way more than you will some junky ass site.
The only problem is that I don't trust everybody.
That's true.
That they're just making something up.
That's true. Yeah.
Especially if they know I have no access to the internet and they'd be like, "Hey, did you hear?
So what you're saying is you need better friends. Yeah. All right, boo. All right, so let's start
Did
off.
you just boo yourself?"
Yes, I'm the bad friend. I just booed me.
All right. So speaking of other awesome people,
That's right.
I brought this guy to your attention. Boom. Right here. Billionaire who wanted to die broke and is now officially broke. In quotations.
Let's first by
But
saying we love to bash billionaires on this show because we don't think they do enough. But we always say if somebody does do something good, we will give them credit. So today is that day.
this guy is the epitome of like just
good
a
billionaire.
good billionaire.
Yeah, a good
like,
billionaire.
Like somebody, the right person got billions of dollars.
Paul said I don't want to go back to the Stone Age.
Yeah.
No, okay, the Stone Age was not 15 years ago, Paul. I just want to go back to the point where, like, not everybody had every ounce of information at their fingertips. I think it's lame.
All
Anyway,
right. So this guy right here, Chuck Feeney,
Chuck Feeney.
89 years old, gentleman has been giving away his fortune for the last 40 years.
Very interesting. Now, I'm going to ask you a couple questions to
All
go
right.
with this. How did this billionaire make his money?
So he developed the idea of the duty-free store in the airport.
You said duty.
I did say duty. I know it's like your seventh favorite word. But unfortunately, that is the name of the stores. But for those of you that have gotten to the airport and you see those fancy liquor bottles and the fancy colognes that are supposedly saving you, you know, it's like, oh, how could you not buy it?
Yeah.
Like in the Seinfeld, duty free, dude,
Duty-
duty free. He amassed a massive fortune through this and created a charity to give it all away.
Before I go anywhere, I did have this question off air with you, and I don't think we even got the answer, but it is odd to me that he created an idea, and it doesn't seem like this duty-free thing was copyrighted, so it just seemed like he was he grew this duty-free idea and just put them everywhere. And he probably owned a zillion of them, and that's probably why he's a billionaire. But it didn't seem like he copyrighted the idea, and I don't think the idea is even copyrightable. It's like, right, like it's just like in the airport, you're not allowed to charge taxes, so that's it, right?
And
like
I know like airports have exclusive things. Like if you go there, you see Hudson News. Like they are like exclusive to the airports.
Paul said the house he's being filmed in doesn't look like he's broke. I agree with you, Paul, but the guy did make like $1 zillion, so he definitely doesn't live in a shed. But but hold your thought though. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you're gonna be impressed by this guy. I promise.
All right, so duty free makes billions of dollars,
Billions.
literally billions of dollars. Decides he wants to give it away, gives away the mass amount of it. The reason nobody's ever heard of this dude, most of it he gives away anonymously.
Keanu Reeves style.
Yeah, just so take a stab.
At how much?
How much? So billions.
I don't. I wouldn't even have a guess. My real question is, you said he's giving it away anonymously. Do we even know any idea where it's going?
So they have a few. They honestly don't know where a lot of it went because he just gave it away. He said he wanted to give it away to things that would actually be meaningful. I loved. He said he didn't want to throw pennies at $10 problems. He wanted to make meaningful change. One of the big ones he donated to stop violence in Northern Ireland. He donated money, huge amounts of money, to develop healthcare in Vietnam.
Wow.
Like just huge projects.
And then you said he doesn't want to throw pennies at a $10 problem, and I can't tell you how good of a quote that is, because I feel like everybody on the planet thinks if I had $1 zillion, I would love to just give it away to charity. But you actually have to be careful what charity you're giving it away to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to bash charities, but there are a lot of charities
there's a few I'm not a big fan of.
Right, that kind of skim off the top and skim a lot off the top for their CEOs and stuff. I know. I mean, the one.
Pink one?
I know. Well, I was gonna say Salvation Army. I know that I read a while back their CEO makes a ton of money. So I know that some of these places aren't as good as they seem. This guy, you said, was giving it away to universities. He was giving it away to things that he thought he could actually change.
Said,
right?
I think he went to Cornell and gave over $1 billion to Cornell.
Very cool.
Cornell develops a lot of stuff. They have a huge science program, so that was huge. Also worked with Warren Buffett and Bill Gates to create the Giving Pledge back in 2010.
Okay, the Giving Pledge, if you guys aren't familiar, it was this beautiful pledge of all these billionaires coming together. I think they ended up getting like 10 or 20, maybe more billionaires all together, and everybody was just donating tons of this money to this charity.
Yeah, and they said that their goal is to give away the majority of their fortunes in their lifetimes.
That's the best pledge you could have, I think.
Huge. So this guy was on that train. $8 billion over the course of his last 40 years. So he just recently kind of came to the forefront because the philanthropic foundation that he created like 40 years ago just recently shut down.
Okay.
Because they gave away all his money.
So
they
you
finally
hear that,
gave
Paul?
it all away.
His charity is literally closed because he doesn't have any more money to give away. Now, not everything, right? You said he has a couple nickels left.
A couple. So him and his wife, so he's still married.
Mm-hmm.
They have they said a very small apartment in San Francisco that resembles a college freshman dorm.
Shout out. I like that.
And he has $2 million in a bank account, and that's supposed to let him live the rest of his life.
So he gave away $8 billion and he kept $2 million, which in the grand scheme of things is probably like 1%. So he literally
Not even
right? Yeah. So just very, very little, nothing at all. I mean, $2 million is a ton of money, but for somebody that amassed that much and gave away that
enough
much,
for him to buy food and like
he gave away 99% of his fortune, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that's the number you have to say out loud. You also said in here, and this article says it right here, that he doesn't even buy printed photos. He actually prints them out himself because he wants to save money there. He's a frugal person.
Yeah,
you know?
I think $2 million is going to last him quite a while.
Yeah.
Like you're like, he's going to blow through that. No, I'm sure that apartment's paid for.
I wonder,
but
I wonder if he drives his wife crazy. She's like,
She's like-
we're eating ramen tonight. You have $8 billion. We're not eating ramen again tonight.
Can we at least put chicken in it this time?
Yeah. I wonder if she drives her crazy. Does this guy? How old is this guy?
So 89.
89.
So I would imagine he's like, by all measures, he's already outlived the life expectancy. So $2 million should hold him off pretty well.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Very, very cool. We love the story. Like I said, we love to bash the billionaires when we get a chance. But this guy seemed like a different kind of guy. Forbes called him the James Bond of philanthropy because everything he did was a secret, clandestine,
Undercover,
anonymous
like
giveaway. So I think that's really, really great. I think one of the stories that I've told on this show before is, Rockefeller and I always forget the other guy's name. Carnegie. That Rockefeller and Carnegie battled, and they were apparently very evil people. Apparently, they were very nasty towards each other. Apparently, they sent each other really nasty gifts, and they were really not great people to be around. However, one of the wonderful things that came out of their kind of attacking each other is they started to give away money late in their lives, and that became like a competition who could give away more money. And they actually spoke to the fact that they said that giving away money, what they learned later in life, was way more rewarding than making money. And I think that's really something that I would imagine is very true. I would imagine.
I really hope it's one of those things Bezos gets into.
Yeah.
Like, he's got like 200 billion. And people are like, oh, he doesn't really have 200 billion. It's all in stocks. Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
I understand.
But if he committed his company to doing good things,
then I'm saying,
like, I'm just saying, like, he could change
1%,
everything.
1% a year.
2 billion.
He could turn around and give to something.
Yeah.
DJ said he blew through 2 million yesterday, so pretty impressive. DJ had a pretty wild Wednesday.
Easy Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's really great. We always want to start on a positive story. I thought this guy Lamb told me a little bit about this guy. I thought it was really, really cool. Guy deserves a little bit of a shout out, man. So, like I said, if I ever became rich, I think the instinct is immediately to buy a car, buy a house, buy your friends some stuff. But I really do believe that gets boring pretty fast. And I believe people are like, oh, I want to go on vacations. I believe that would get boring at some point. I really do. I believe you could travel for 2 years and see most of the world and then
See
be like...
most everything you want to see.
See almost everything you want to see. You could spend a month in Italy. You could spend a month in the Bahamas. You could spend a month touring Europe. You could spend a month everywhere. And then what? And then you're done. And then you've seen everything. And you could go back and you could continue to do interesting things. But I really believe that, like, earning money is an addiction. Giving it away, I think, is a healthy hobby. You know what I mean? I think there's a very distinct difference there. But all right, let's go ahead and move on. We've got a little bit of techie stories today.
Because you guys know us. We are tech fanatics.
That could not be less true.
Well, I enjoy tech,
Lamb
which is
does.
weird because I'm not like super like techie.
Yeah.
But I love hearing about tech.
You live here. I
Like, I don't have a lot of tech, but I love hearing about tech.
I don't know why I didn't put this on here. Oh, you know what? This is really random. I don't. If you guys don't know, we pretty much plan the entire show. Whether you can't, nobody can read that. That's
We've established that.
That's what's important. It's made for me to read and nobody else. The other story I did want to cover, which I thought was cool, I did want to shout out the celebrities for that the blackout thing they did. If you guys didn't hear about this, Leonardo DiCaprio. Almost said Da Vinci. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Da Vinci would have done it if he was around.
Kim Kardashian, Jamie Foxx, a list of massive celebrities who...
I gotta say Mark Ruffalo, because I did hear, I think that he kind of maybe fostered this initially.
Okay, so maybe Mark Ruffalo, some other celebrities. Apparently, it was a massive team of them. They hold a lot of weight on some of these social media sites, Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that. And they produce a lot of revenue. Every time they post stories. They're always putting, the ads and the things that they kind of... hey, check out this new oil or check out this new drink, whatever they're promoting that day. They decided that they were kind of annoyed with the way Facebook and Instagram was kind of promoting misinformation and kind of hate-filled articles. And if we say this all the time, if you are not on Facebook consistently, it is turned into an echo chamber of just hate. I honestly, I don't mean that. I really don't even feel like I'm exaggerating anymore. If I'd have said that 2 years ago, I think people said I'm exaggerating. Today, if you go on Facebook right now, you're gonna leave in a worse mood than when you previously got on.
Yeah. It just seems worse every day.
Every day I get on, it's just more hate-filled garbage. And then I have friends sharing things that will actually literally on the page, it will say this person's post contains misinformation, and they're still sharing it. So it's like confusing to me that you could read something and it'll say there, this is wrong. This contains information that's not correct. Literally, all you have to do is Google it and it'll show you that it's not correct and it's still being shared. So these celebrities were a little bit annoyed by it and they took a complete 24 hours off just to kind of let Facebook and Instagram know they will continue to do this periodically, I think, to kind of let them know until you guys start changing your protocols and make it so the place is a little bit more filled with love and a little bit less filled with FUs. Like I said, man, I got friends from high school and stuff. It's the point where you can't even talk to people, man.
Yeah, and the echo chamber thing is really what I think people... And I don't think I talked about this, but there's a documentary on Netflix that just came out called The Social Dilemma, and it's all about this. And it's all about the data they gather and what the algorithms spit back at you based on what you interact with. And it is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing. I recommend everyone watch this.
What's it called again?
Social Dilemma. It just came out on Netflix. It will shock you the amount of information they have on you. They will literally send you different Google results depending where you live
Oh, wow.
and who lives around you.
What they think is
What
interesting.
they think is interesting. So if the one they use is climate change is the example. If you type in climate change is into Google, depending on where you live, the next words that are auto-filled in will be different.
That's horrifying. Again,
And again, it's not people actively choosing to send. These are algorithms that have been created, and they know what gets clicks.
yeah.
The big thing the takeaway is the computer knows no difference between the truth and a click,
That's a really scary
and
sentence.
it was so scary.
Say that sentence again?
The computer doesn't know any difference between the truth and a click.
Wow. That's a really scary. So what's the movie called?
Social Dilemma on Netflix, documentary, super cool. They have like people that used to work, like the guy who invented the like button. He was talking about like when they invented it, what it was for, and what it's turned into.
It's a dopamine kick. I mean,
Yeah,
and
they talk about that. They have scientists. They have all these people, like people that were there when like Instagram was founded. Like these are like real people,
yeah.
like
Like I said,
high level people.
It's interesting to me. Like I said, one more time. What's the social what?
Dilemma.
Go home, watch it.
Do it now.
That's right. Do it now. Get home and watch the thing. I actually saw a friend of mine recently on Facebook who posted something. I'm not even going to get into what it was, but it was political. Somebody on the other side of the fence that didn't agree with this person started a little bit of a dialogue. And I actually showed you this, and I think I'll probably share it on the show next time. What I liked about it was probably 1 in 1,000 where I have seen somebody post something that was kind of incendiary, and somebody commented in a very polite manner and said, "This is how I feel about the subject." And then you had 2 of my friends who are adults continue to go paragraph for paragraph in very polite banter. Just, "Oh, this is how I feel. Okay, well, you feel this way." At the end of it, they said, "Look, this is how I feel. I totally respect your opinion, but this is just..." And they actually, what's really cool was they gave a little bit. They started to say like, "Okay, I can see that point. I can see that point." And by the end, what was really fascinating was they were actually a little bit closer to each other's side than they were at the beginning. And I think that is something that Facebook doesn't allow most of the time. I think if you really want people to stop hating, you've got to give people the chance to argue politely. And we have lost that. If you don't agree with me, you're an idiot. And it's like, I can have a discussion with you on something I vehemently disagree with. But if you make points founded in facts, then I can say, look, you know, my argument, I still kind of believe on this side, but I do at least see that side of it, right? But we have lost that. And so when I saw that, that gave me a lot of like hope. I'm like, okay, this is what we need a little bit more of.
Yeah, there's a term called civil discourse.
Right. And your Irish says I do not agree, so I hate you.
Yeah, those are your options.
That's
Agree, or we're fighting to the death.
You're a piece of shit. Yeah. No, and like I said, I was really respectful to see that, and I think I'm going to share it because I think we've lost it somewhere. Now, and I will say this. Tell me if I'm wrong. Those same discussions, I feel, would have a better chance of staying civil if they were in person.
100,000%.
People have this entitlement online where they can just vomit really horrible things, and they feel like, and even if it's passive aggressive or sarcastic, that doesn't help the argument. That doesn't help the dialogue. That doesn't show your point any further. But it just causes anger. So again, I thought it was really cool that some of these celebrities, even like Kim Kardashian, like some of these people actually stood up and said, "Look, we don't want this. We don't want the platform that we represent to be something that represents just people arguing and hating each other." You know,
Yeah.
even Twitter to a certain extent is like, it's just trolls. It's just one person after the next saying something stupid, you know?
I really don't want us to come to the point where Kim Kardashian is the voice of reason here.
It's Kim Kardashian and Joe Rogan, like that's all we have left, you know?
They just like, all right, that's what we got, guys. Like,
Yeah, I don't want to.
we got 2 voices of reason. Everybody else, apparently an idiot.
I was laughing the other day. I'm sure people have seen this, but it was like a meme, and it was like a guy wakes up in like a coma, and he's like been asleep for like 25 years, and he wakes up, and they're like, "Man," he's like, I've missed so much. Like, who do I get all my reliable information from now? And the guy's like, you remember that guy that did Fear Factor?
That's who you want to chat with. That guy right there apparently got it all.
Yeah, he's got all the deets. But anyway, like I said, I thought that was really cool that they stood up and they kind of blacked out, so they didn't post anything for 24 hours on Instagram or Facebook, kind of letting them know that in the future we will continue to do this. Again, Facebook has said they don't want to censor people and they don't want to do that. They did start to fact check a little bit, which I think has not even really slowed people down. People still share something that's completely insane and not
Baby
true.
steps, at least.
Baby steps, right. But anyway, let's move on to tech stories, like we said we were going to do. The first story, let's go ahead and cut to this here. The first story for me is actually something that hit home for me, so I wanted to share it with you guys. I can't imagine any of you guys have heard of this product specifically, but I would imagine that you have heard of something very, very similar to this product. So I am a fan of UFC. In the midst of all this coronavirus, the sports took a massive nosedive. I was always a fan of UFC, but then they started producing events on Tuesday night and Saturday night every single week, and I'm a sports junkie. I don't even care what the sport is. I just like competition, and I've told this to Lamb many times. I just want to see 2 people battle it out or 5 people battle it out, head-to-head. Now, recently there was a very big fight in the UFC. A very famous fighter, Daniel Cormier, fought recently. He is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. He lost, but very nice guy, very well-spoken, very pure human being. He released an article yesterday, and in the article, he actually said that in his training before the big fight, he actually was tested positive for COVID. Again, not that big of a story right off the bat. But he said that he was originally tested all the time. So he was getting tested all through camp. Because as you can imagine, if you're fighting and you're training for a fight, you're kind of, you're rubbing noses with a lot of people. You're literally grappling with people on the ground. He said he tested negative. About 4 days later, 5 days later, after he had tested negative, he wears this ring. I don't have any idea if I'm pronouncing this right. We think it might be Aura.
Aura is our guess.
Aura is our guess. PC Talk. What's up, man? Welcome to the chat. So he wears this ring called Aura. That's our guess. The Aura ring, it keeps track of a lot of different things. Your sleep habits, your, like Lamb was kind of saying, your body temperatures. It keeps track of, I think, oxygens, things like that. It keeps track of your fitness. It keeps track of all sorts of different things that for your body, and it quite literally gives you those details for you to do with what you please. What was really interesting, I guess I have a couple other things, but what was really interesting was he woke up one morning, and after about 4 or 5 days of a negative test, he woke up, and his reading said that his heart had worked 3 times as hard that night while he was sleeping, and they said his temperature up 1 degree. Instead of 98.6, it was about 99.5, something like it was up just 1 degree. He said that was kind of alarming to him because this ring tells him every day how good his sleep is and how great his body has recovered and yada, yada, yada. So the next day, he wakes up again, same thing. His heart was working really hard the night before. His temperature's up another 0.4. He said he didn't even feel sick. He felt a little bit, just a little worn down, right? So he said, I just tested negative for this COVID, so it can't be that. But he said, I don't care. I'm going to get tested again. So he rolls in, gets tested again, pops positive. 5 days after he had, tested negative. That blew me away. I know that Apple and stuff are kind of keeping an eye on things like that, but we have talked about on this show how I firmly believe that in the future, what's sooner than cures to big sicknesses are the ability for us to monitor our own bodies at such an elite level that we just catch things a little sooner. He said it would have probably been a week before he caved and went to a doctor. He said he probably, because since he got the negative test, he would have assumed he was okay. His buddies in camp were always teasing him. They said Mike Tyson didn't need a ring to get a championship. He said after he popped positive, because the ring gave him some very small signals, everybody in his camp got the ring. He said he trained in his house for about a week by himself. He said he had one guy that came and hit the bags with him, said, I don't care if I get you, you're a heavyweight champion. We're fighting for the oh, somebody's at my house. Let's hope it's Amazon. They don't have to answer the door.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Serious folks that are saying we are now being tracked. What goes back to that? The ring? Sorry. Somebody in the chat just said this goes back to the conspiracy theories that we are being tracked. I mean, maybe that is. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I don't know.
Yeah, we're being tracked. You have a giant tracking device in your pocket that you use all the time. It's called your phone.
Yeah, Like, I'm not saying look, I'm not going to get into Irish Bear. I'm not going to get into whether we are or not being tracked, but I'll say this. That ring is not tracking me any more than that thing in my pocket. So if you're okay with the phone, you should be okay with the ring. But like I said, I thought it was very, very cool. It really, the ring starts to understand the rhythms. It starts to understand what your body normally does, and it will let you know if your body is doing something abnormal, if you got poor sleep, all that kind of stuff. There is a few devices out there like this. We saw a commercial recently for the one that the NBA is pushing really hard.
The Whoop.
Sorry, I just wanted to have you say it because it made me laugh. The Whoop. Yeah, I just
Whoop,
got,
whoop.
I just can't tell you how stupid of a name it is.
Do you think the NBA is pushing it because it rhymes with hoop?
100%. Whoop, there it is.
Yeah.
That's their whole slogan, I'm sure.
Whoop it up. Whoop it up.
Whoop it up. Same idea. Whoop, the NBA's been pushing this product. It's a band that you put on your wrist. Same idea. It tracks your sleep. It tells you how much you recovered the night before, all these different things. This product that I'm showing you is $300 for the base model. That's really expensive, but immediately after I heard that story, I was like, man, that's something I could feel like I would buy. Do you think you would purchase something like this?
These are the types of things I'm like, if it comes with like a 30-day like trial,
Yeah.
then I might be interested.
Yeah.
Because I got to wear it working out. I got to wear it doing things.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds great in theory.
Yeah.
But then you put it on and you go to like lift a barbell and it's like
Yeah.
cutting off circulation in your finger, or you bend it and it doesn't work anymore.
That's
and you're
true.
Like, all right, that's great, $300. Like,
That's true. But one of the counters to that is the article goes on to say that Apple has kind of some of the similar stuff too. But one of the things it says is that Apple's product is on your wrist, and they said that they struggle to get people to want to wear something on their wrist while they sleep. And they also said that like anything on your wrist, it's moving around a lot and jostling, so it does kind of affect the readings, and it's not that accurate. Now, I'm not saying it's not.
so you went on the chest strap?
Full chest strap and a helmet. I want a helmet on all
like
the time.
with electrodes on it.
Yes.
Like it's
That's what I want.
test it out.
That's right. Nick, you are 4% dumber today. Damn it. So yeah, sorry, chat. Also, I'd be pissed if I was Stipe. Yeah, I agree with you. Stipe was the guy he fought in the fight. Stipe, excuse me. Stipe. He fought him in the fight, and he lost to Stipe, so no biggie there. But again, if you were Stipe and you found out you were fighting this guy and he did test positive, I could see that being a concern. I thought it was really interesting that it didn't get leaked too, because something like this is really hard to hide.
I think they had so much money riding on that fight actually happening.
Yeah.
They were like,
I feel like even UFC probably
was like,
keep it on the hush hush.
Yeah.
Again, I just didn't know if you guys were aware of things like this. I thought it was really fascinating that there's products like this that are genuinely tracking. The other thing that I thought was really cool is they go on to talk about how, okay, if me and Lamb got this kind of information, we're not going to be doing any calculations. We're not going to be looking at any trending data. But they said if you go to a doctor and you say, man, I've been sleeping poorly, or my stomach's upset, or I've been cognitively impaired recently and I'm not thinking straight, or whatever, you roll into the doctor and you say something like that, he's going to ask you a bunch of questions. 99% of patients, they say, really can't give them any good answers. They always...
how you been sleeping?
Good.
Fine.
How's your diet?
That's pretty good. Sometimes not as good as it should be.
Do you work out 3-5 days a week?
I mean, I try to be active when I can.
Perfect. That was great. Thank you, Nim, for being the dumb patient. Yes, that is the answers the doctors get 99% of the time. They said if you roll in with this ring, though, and you can quite literally give them like a chart and say, this is what I've been dealing with, they said as a doctor, that information is unbelievably helpful. So I just think that's the future. I think it's really cool. I totally understand what you're saying. I don't want to lift weights with that ring on either. But
Yeah, I need to test it out. But I also thought it was super interesting because Apple just like 2 days ago released showed off their new Apple Watch that they're going to have with a blood oxygen sensor for the first time.
So cool.
And just adding more and more functionality to those watches. And now they say it's not like medical grade and everything like that, but it's still like...
Would you rather have something that's going to maybe tell you something is
if
wrong
it's
or not?
90% accurate, like it's 90% accurate most of the time.
Right,
Like it's
yeah.
like when people talk about like your house scale, if I'm weighing myself on that scale over and over again, it doesn't matter if that scale is not the doctor's scale.
Or if it's 2-3 pounds
Yeah,
one
like
direction.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like it's consistently going to be that same way.
You'll know if you're losing weight
Yeah.
or not, right? Yeah, correct. Again, this seems to be a very common direction. Now, do you, and this is actually kind of to what Irish is saying here on the chat, do you think this is invasive? Do you think this is too invasive? Do you think that there are people that will think this is too invasive?
Definitely people that will think so. But none of this is required.
Hmm.
This is something that you can sign up for. You can get these things that are not smart. that don't connect to your phone, that don't, like you just literally, it's a device on your wrist. It doesn't have any GPS. It doesn't have any of that. And it does all the same stuff. And then you can plug it into your computer and just download the data into like an Excel chart and look at it.
Okay.
So if you want this data without the connectivity, you can get that.
Like, okay, like if it was like tracking like my doctor visits and stuff, and all that information was like on my phone about, the bumps on my feet or something, you don't want people knowing about whatever. That I understand is a little invasive. I don't know. For me personally, I could give a flying F who in the world knows what my blood oxygen level is. That's just me being honest. I don't care.
And I mean,
I
get
don't
it's like a slippery slope because if all your medical data is like stored in something and it gets hacked,
right.
It's could be a problem.
Could be a problem. So again, it is kind of going down that murky path. I imagine there's also going to be issues every now and again. I have to feel this way. There's got to be false alarms. There's got to be some times where there's things telling you something. Maybe it's wrong. I guarantee it's going to freak some people out every now and again. I also really truly believe that if you, to a certain extent, you thinking about your health on like an hour-to-hour level in a certain way is a deterrent, is a certain way is a negative thing. You almost start to like you wake up and you're like a little bit tired, and all of a sudden you're like, I got it, dude. I got this death disease and I'm going down,
Yeah,
And so
I mean, there's definitely going to be some like like over-focused people on this thing for, my blood oxygen was only at 98% today, and I only got to like a strain level of like 18.1 when if I don't get to 20, I don't feel like accomplished and like going out for a run. But generally speaking, the more people that are focused on being healthy,
it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
I agree. I tell people all the time, one of the things that I disagree with personally is one of the most common piece of advice for people that want to lose weight is to only weigh yourself once a week. This is a piece of advice that I disagree with because for me, I am like, I play the stock market, I do things like that. I understand there's going to be variances. For me, though, if I eat healthy one day and I wake up the next morning and I'm even a half pound down, I'm like, all right, you know what? That motivates me to keep going. If I wake up the next day and I'm still at that exact same weight, even though I am healthy, in my head, though, I know I'm like, I'm still putting in that work and I'm not gaining weight. I'm still. And now if I wake up the next day and it's a pound up, I'm like, okay, I got to get back at it today. I'm not the kind of guy that affects me that much, but I want that constant motivation, that constant pushing. This is something that would not bother me. I would love to know. Okay, so here's a good example. One of the things that some of the consumer reviews were kind of funny, and one of the consumer reviews I thought was really great was a doctor who used it, and he said, look, some of the information, now I'll go back to the Oura Ring, some of the information it gives you is kind of obvious. He said, like, the ring told me, like, yeah, like on the night that I got really drunk, I didn't sleep that well. I kind of knew that was going to happen. Okay, that might be true. But there's a lot of things in my life that I'm not sure whether they're affecting me or not. So, yeah, maybe me going to Old Country Buffet and slamming down like 6,000 calories, I didn't sleep that well that night. Okay, yeah, I can jog that up to that. But do I know if like diet soda is messing with me that night? Do I know if like heavy salt is messing with me that night? Do I know if working out early in the day or later at night? Tony, my brother, says that he goes for a run almost all the time, 4 or 5 nights a week. He likes running at night because he says it puts him to sleep. I would love to know person to person what's helpful. So I think that's really
I know
cool.
other people that say if they work out at night, they can't sleep.
Right. So again, I think that kind of information can be really helpful person to person. Lord Derek said that Garmin has oxygen levels for a while. It tells me my level within the first 20 minutes of a workout. Derek, I would ask you, does that do anything for you? Do you like it? Is there anything in there that information helps you with? Do you find it,
or is it just another piece of information that you kind of ignore?
Do you
and
just
like,
throw it away? Yeah, and say nothing.
You're like, 98 should be. I'm awesome. I'm great at oxygen.
Nobody's better at oxygen than me.
The best oxygen.
So again, I'd never hoarded this Oura Ring, and then we got into the Apple Watch. I am fascinated. I am not somebody that's scared by it in any sense. I am super excited. At some point, if I have the funds, I will probably buy something like this. I'll probably take it off while I work out, maybe, or maybe keep it on while I run.
The problem is that's the big issue for me, is I would want it specifically for while I'm working out.
Right.
And if I can't wear it while I'm working out, like I had a fitness tracker thing, and it was on my wrist, but I tried using it working out, and I could not wear it working out. So it just really... I actually had to take it off, and I use it occasionally.
Yeah.
This fitness tracker, I got it for free, so that's the only reason I was like really willing to like test it out because this is expensive.
Yeah,
but it's great if you're running, cycling, basic things like that. But other than that, it wasn't like really that great. I used it like when I was doing like yoga. It was kind of cool, like
Okay.
seeing what was going
Yeah,
on there.
yeah.
But
I mean, like I said, weightlifting might be the only thing the ring would get in the way for, but I am curious to see what would happen. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. We got some other news. Again, if you're a video gamer, at least some of this information is interesting. Even if you're not, Lamb is not a video gamer, and he found some of this stuff interesting. So if you guys haven't heard, I'm sure you have. Xbox and PS5 are coming out, the new versions of those consoles. I liked a video game. Definitely a nice thing for me at nighttime. But Xbox, PS5 have kind of gone in the direction of PCs.
yeah, they're basically like low-end gaming PCs.
Correct. They're basically computers they're putting out now. And I think that's the right direction. I've told some of my friends, like, I think PC kind of is the future of gaming in the sense of, like, it connects to everything. It runs faster. It's limitless. You can do whatever you want. So Xbox, PS5 are coming out. They just released some of the pricing. I thought the pricing was actually semi-shocking. For me, I expected these, like you said, basically computers. I expected them to be $500, $600, $700. I really did. I thought the original report was $799.
Well, like you said, like, because you and Malcolm built a computer together.
Right.
And so you got the pieces
Correct.
and put them together.
Correct.
So there's really and that was still a lot more than these.
Yes, correct. That still cost a lot more than this, and I had to put it together myself, right? Yeah.
I'm saying, like, I know there's scale and building a lot of them at once and all those things,
Yeah.
but the fact they can do this
Yes. Is
these price points is shocking.
is unbelievable. Now, I'm just going to go over the basics for you guys. If you don't know, I think some of this is really interesting. One of the first stats I will tell you, just as kind of crazy to me, is that the PS5 is 15 inches tall. Just for size sake,
I think it's the largest console that's ever been.
I'm sure. That's huge. So that's almost a good thing in the sense that you're getting a product that has a lot going on, right? But each of them is doing something really unique. They're releasing 2 versions of each console. Both of them kind of similar. If you're asking me which console is better right now, I would tell you that from what I have read, the high-end Xbox One has a very slight edge, but I am telling you right now, it's meaningless. Both of them are very, very high level. If you ask a computer nerd, they'll tell you the Xbox has slightly more in certain aspects, but that is it. Everything else is almost identical. Now, like I said, I guess I should explain. They have 2 versions each. The difference in the expensive version to the less expensive version is only that the less expensive version is all digital. So if you want to play a game, you have to download it directly to the device. The more expensive ones, you can actually have a disc to put in, so you don't have to take up any of the space on the game. The other difference, one of the main differences, the Xbox is backwards compatible, so you can play all Xbox games, pretty much all the way back is what they've said. PS5, they said there's some backward compatibility, but it's not going to be all games. It's not even going to be most games. It's going to be, like, I guess, handpicked or something, cherry-picked. Now, you said some of this might actually interest you.
Yeah, the real interesting thing for me is that Microsoft, the Xbox company, has made a serious play for non-gamers with their digital version. Because their digital version is only $299.
$299.
It's almost half the price of, like, that full-on thing. And the specs are almost identical. Like, it's a little slower.
I could either have that Aura Ring, or I could have an Xbox.
Or I could have an Xbox and an Aura Ring, instead of the Xbox X.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, so the fact that it can do that, and the drive's only 512 gigs, and you could expand it, and the expansion apparently is pretty expensive and all that stuff. But for me, I was like, I would just download older games anyway that are much smaller, like those original Xbox games and stuff like that. And then Xbox is also running this Game Pass thing for like $15 a month, and you can just get and stream and play all these games online and just swap them out, like download it, throw it on the Xbox, play it. If you don't like it, get rid of it. And it doesn't cost you any more money. And then they're putting all the EA Play stuff on there. Like, they're making a real play in my mind to get the more casual people.
I agree. Get the casual people involved.
And then if you're really hardcore and you want to go wild with it, you get the Xbox X.
And people are saying you could go back and you could play family games from the Xbox. You could play family games on the PS5, old stuff like that. Again, now PS4 is slightly more expensive. Their cheap one is $400, $399, and their more expensive one is $499. So everything is about $100 ratcheted up. I think that's going to hurt them. I'm just being honest. You're throwing out an Xbox for $300. Moms and dads are going to buy $300 worth.
There was a real issue, and that they said like PlayStation was actually probably going to come in more expensive, and then they heard the Xbox prices and actually had to come in lower than they wanted to.
I did not know that. So they were kind of bullied into.
Yeah, like they can't compete if they were like $600 and $500 for the oh my god,
It wouldn't even be close.
Yeah. I just wanted to shout it out. DJ over there gifting other DJ
Wow.
a subscription.
That is really, really cool. DJ, you're a badass, bro. Sorry, that's Derek Lore, excuse me. Derek, very, very cool, man. To give you a subscription. So, DJ, now you don't ever have to watch commercials, and you are technically a subscriber of the Two Dumb Idiots. Derek, you're a badass. Real quick to Derek's comment, I did ask him earlier, does he like the kind of the blood oxygen? He said that when he is feeling tired or not feeling so well, that it does actually register on there for him. So it's just kind of a more reassurance that, yeah, I'm not really feeling that well. You kind of look at the device and says, hey, yeah, you're not feeling that well. You know, so
I mean, it is nice to know, I think, a little bit like it's not just mental.
I'm not just insane, right? No, I really
Like,
do.
No,
I
it's
agree.
like, no, my body's running a little lean today.
And that's right. Once again, Derek, appreciate that, man. I'm going to give Derek a good old horn, dude. Oh. There you go. I appreciate that.
Like, DJ, what is a tier 1 sub? That means you are officially a sub member of this, a subscribing thing. He just gave you that first level, that best level.
You're a subscriber now. What that means, DJ, is that anytime you click in, you will never have to see ads. And all it does is give us monthly revenue. You didn't give it to it. Derek did. But that means that technically now we get a monthly revenue from that. It really just helps to keep the show going. It's a very nice way of just saying thank you for putting on the show. We really appreciate that. That's really cool. All right. So like I said, we thought that was cool. I really had a quick little quiz for Lamb here.
Yes.
So I thought this was
testing my breadth of my knowledge out here.
So I said $300 for an Xbox seems like given inflation, it seems like that's actually a pretty cheap price. I thought that was kind of cheap.
It's
right?
shocking.
Shockingly cheap. So I wanted to go back, and you guys in the chat can throw in your guesses. I want to see what the old systems cost and what that would be technically with inflation now. Okay. So we're going to start right off the back with Atari 2600. Came out in 1977.
77.
19
So actually before me.
Actually, this is unbelievable. We found a story before
Finally.
Land.
It's been a while.
Yes. We got.
I'm going to guess. It was a game changer. I'm going to guess it was like $135.
Not a bad guess. Paul got a $50 guess in there. Atari 2600 was actually $199 when it came out.
Good God.
That
That had to be. Now am I guessing the inflation? What that is?
Yeah.
with
If you want to
inflation?
take a guess on inflation rate, take a guess.
I'd say 450.
That is, you're still going to be shocked. It would actually be up 258%. Technically, it would be a $771 console today.
Jesus.
So back in the day, yeah, wow, Derek, how the hell did you get that so fast? I didn't even say it out loud yet. Yeah, 700. That is exactly right. Atari, with the inflation today, would cost $770.
And they sold a lot of them.
And they sold a lot. So I'm thinking back in 1977, $200 was a buttload of money, man. And I mean, that really is kind of impressive that that's how
It's
much.
like a house payment back then.
That's really insane. Okay, how about this? The very first Nintendo, NES.
Oh, well,
85.
It depends. The initial release had Rob the Robot, and it was the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Who the hell is Rob the Robot?
You don't know about Rob the Robot.
I
Rob
don't.
the Robot only worked for 2 games, and the reason was Nintendo video games had a really bad rap at the time, so they sold it as an entertainment system with a robot to try and trick parents into not buying, because video games were supposed to be bad.
Had no idea.
Rob the Robot, I'm gonna say $249 when it came out.
Very close. It was exactly $200.
Okay.
With today's inflation, you'd be up to $430,
Yeah.
man. That's about right. So $430 today. Again, I do understand why parents weren't buying it everywhere. Yeah. So DJ, appreciate that. You just got an Amazon Prime. I'm going to talk about it real quick anyway. If you do want to subscribe to the show and you don't got $5, you can just go to your. Paul actually put the link in the chat, but you can quite literally just link Twitch and your Amazon Prime, and then you can hit subscribe button, and it'll do it for free for
And
you.
I think you can subscribe even if you have the Amazon Prime, and you might even be able to gift that to somebody else.
That's right. All right. So 1989, Game Boy came out.
Ooh, $149.
Actually, substantially.
99?
Yeah, it was $90.
Yeah.
I actually.
$89.99 sounds right.
I'm going back. That is a steal.
Yeah.
That's a robbery.
That's probably what, like 180 now?
170. Very
Yeah.
good guess. So $170 for a device that essentially kids used 70 hours a day.
For like literally changed the entire landscape of video games.
For sure, 100%. I just thought that was fascinating. Here, real quick here. I do not remember this, so this is actually shocking to me. Do you remember? Do you know what the PlayStation 3 cost when it came out in 2006?
PlayStation 3 was shockingly expensive. I remember that. Was it $449?
It was $599.
$599. I didn't want to go that high. I do
$600.
remember it being shockingly expensive.
So they said the inflation rate would only be 16%, but it would be almost $700 today. So quite literally, so far of everything I've seen, still Atari was like head and above everybody as far as like inflation goes. And then I don't have this console. Did you have a Saturn?
I did not have one because
I don't
it was
even know
just
what it is.
Sega's. It was Sega's when Sega came out. The PlayStation was going head to head with the Saturn.
Okay.
So we're talking like 98, 99?
We are talking 95.
Really? Saturn came out that early?
I mean, that's the release year, so I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense because it would have been PlayStation versus Nintendo 64 versus Saturn.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So
PlayStation
like
3
96
came
out.
Yeah, PlayStation 1 came in 95.
Yeah.
So you're dead on. Yep, exactly. I've never even seen a Saturn.
It
So
was pretty expensive, but I think it was I'm going to say like $249.
not bad. It was actually $399. It's $400.
Wow, that killed them.
And tell me it was a piece of shit, right?
It had its big title was Echo the Dolphin. It was literally a dolphin swimming around the water shooting like bubbles at things.
Not once, not never.
That's how many times I played the Dolphin game. That is
I remember playing it at Toys R Us. That was the only experience I ever had with the Sega Saturn was actually playing it in the store where they had like the thing like.
If you're anybody anywhere, some of the best video games experience you've had is in like Best Buy, just ripping them off as you play video games while your mom walks around the store. Okay, so $400 back then, today would be $613. So that is
a reason my
rip-off.
mom would not buy that one.
There's a reason that nobody had it.
You got video games at home.
Yeah. So, like I said, I thought that was great. I thought that was kind of interesting. I did not realize that some of that stuff was so expensive. I also didn't realize the Atari was that out of like most people's price range.
I must be because maybe it must have dropped dramatically over its like kind of like run. Maybe initially it was that expensive, and then like a year or two later, like became a little more popular. And
Paul, Dreamcast was $200, so that would be about $280 today. So
that was it for Dreamcast.
that's what it says, $200. That's what the cost of release. Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't have a Dreamcast either. So my mom was not really big on the video game thing. It was really hard to even push to get a video game console. So and then when we got it, you were like, my mom. This is dead serious. My mom wanted me to play in like 15-minute intervals. Like you'd be like, all right, you can play a video game for like 15 minutes. I was like, Mom,
turn it on. Takes 15 minutes.
I literally can't do one thing on this game in 15 minutes.
I got to put on channel 3. I got to change the inputs on the back of the TV and like move things around.
And he said, "Look, that's your thing.
ColecoVision.
ColecoVision. Yeah, I did. I looked. I did not know. Well, let's look it up real quick. We're live. I don't care.
Yeah.
How do you spell ColecoVision? ColecoVision. You're trying to beat me to it. What is ColecoVision? Oh, you know what? That's the one where you had to. Here, I'm about to get it for you. $175.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay, so $175. So that was an 82. So I would say with inflation, that was still probably $450. That's probably pretty expensive.
Atari and Mattel worked together on that one.
That's fascinating. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and move on to.
Ooh, this one.
Yes.
'Cause you can.
Perfect.
All right, so this is one I brought to Nick's attention. I just thought was too funny not to.
Okay.
So I saw this online, and I've been teaching, online and stuff like that. And this professor from Pierce College, local to us,
Oh, very cool.
decided he's going to use Cameo and Snoop Dogg to really up his game with his students. Now, I know you're familiar with Cameo.
Yeah, shout out Cameo if you don't know what it is.
If you don't know what it is, it's a service where you can hire famous or not so famous people to record messages as you see fit. So here is, hold on, before we get this going, I want to make sure we got volume
Yeah, my.
because that is
Yep, you can call. There you go.
all right. So this is his professor right here. So
I that guy literally couldn't even frame his smile until he walked off there.
I loved it.
Oh, damn it. They couldn't hear the sound.
Ah,
Damn it. Oh, damn, people just fucking jumped on it. Sorry, guys. We were over here laughing, but I'm glad you enjoyed us laughing. All right, well, we're going to have to actually post this link in the chat because this is really great. Yeah, basically.
I am going to post the link in the chat first. So copy that. And then we'll play it again because it's just great.
Yeah, throw it in the chat for you. I like to, there's like 4 people that comment that I haven't seen anything in the whole chat, and then there's no sound. Like, hey, we missed the sound. Put it in there. All right.
I'm working on it.
Basically, yeah, you guys can read the subtitles, but I mean, if you guys have not used this Cameo app, I mean, I don't care if you actually used it or not, at least download it. I'm telling you, you will have some fun.
Yeah, sorry guys, we could hear it in our ears.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
really
weird.
bizarre. Yeah, normally we can hear it in our ears. That means you guys can hear it. So sorry about that.
But I'll play it again. I ain't scared.
Yeah, I ain't scared either. All right,
This is
we're
fantastic.
gonna play
So
it again. You guys tell if you can hear us or not. Right now, let's just do a practice run real quick. All right, pause. Anybody? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Cause y'all hear that when he started it there? Nope, nothing. Damn.
Oh, I see. Now we should be good.
Try it one more time.
Dr. Benny, I'll be the instructor for this class. Today, I have a very special guest who has a very important message for you all.
A message from Big Snoop Deal Double G to all the university students. Yo, syllabus. You gotta do it. You gotta read it.
Gotta read it, bro.
Why is that, Snoop?
I love that he
Man, I'm
interacts
telling
with
you,
it.
the more you know, the further you go. Tell them Snoop Dogg sent you. Syllabus. I know all about it. Catch up so we can have a conversation. Don't be late. Let's go.
Okay, Snoop. Thank you for dropping the word of wisdom. Hey, you heard my man. Have you read my syllabus yet? Go to this link and start reading the
I
syllabus.
want to go to this link and read the
I'm going to
syllabus.
catch up with Snoop right now, so peace.
I almost, like, I'm not trying to be rude to that guy, but obviously like, English is not his first language. Somebody else wrote that for him, I feel like, right? Like, this guy, like, has a good sense of humor about it. I feel like somebody else probably wrote this for him. I love it, dude.
So good.
I love it. All right.
I love this professor just using it up, like, you know, his budget, like a line item, hopefully, like at the university. I really hope he like submitted a receipt, like, yo, I need this money for Cameo.
We've
for
used
my
Cameo before. I used Cameo for my dad, and like I said, I used it for the Soup Nazi to send my dad like kind of a funny message for Christmas. He's a big Seinfeld fan. It wasn't that expensive. Now, Snoop Dogg, I
Gotta
would
be a few
imagine it's
hundred.
got to be like $400 or $500. So I think he probably spent a pretty nickel on Snoop Dogg.
But I'm saying, like, I want him to have submitted that to the university, like, budget, like, and using some of his, like,
Yeah,
you know, like,
yeah.
this is part of my
I need-
discretionary
I need
fund.
pencils, I need chalk, and I need the Snoop Dogg video.
My kids will love it, trust me.
Tell me this: if you just signed up for that class, you're like, "Yo, this class might be the dopest class I've been in years."
I like Dr. Benny. He
Yeah,
seems pretty chill.
Dr. Benny's gonna be peppering in dope stuff the rest of the year. So shout out,
Love it.
shout
Love
out,
Dr. Benny.
Shout out, Dr. All right, let's move on here. I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna make fun of this dentist here for a second.
All right. Your boy.
All right. So if you guys did not, this is not a funny story, but I at least have to bash this dude. If you guys have not heard this story, it's horrifying. This guy, just got sentenced to 12 years in jail
For riding a hoverboard.
for riding a hoverboard. People are so annoyed with it. No.
That's what we started doing. Everybody riding a hoverboard, 12 years in jail.
I read the article.
Straight to jail.
It said 12 years in jail for somebody who, for a dentist who was on a hoverboard while he did a procedure. And at first I was like, well, that's not really like that terrible, right? Like he's just kind of riding around the office. But if you actually do a little research on the article itself, apparently the lady that had her tooth pulled did not think it was funny, and she was put under, and it was apparently a procedure that she didn't need to be put under for at all. And then comes to find out this guy is ripping off everybody, putting people to sleep that they shouldn't be putting to sleep. I was befuddled when I read this. Apparently, this guy not only did it, he recorded it and sent it to a bunch of his friends with like,
All his dentist buddies.
yeah, and had like a good dentist laugh, and said something along the lines of like, changing the game, and this is the new health program here or something. Now, me and you said off air, had he just like scooted patient to patient with it and then like got off and did his work, kind of be a funny story.
Yeah. Be like, yo, he's the hoverboard dentist.
He's
People
the-
be liking him.
People would love it. People would think it's really funny. Now, apparently, that's not the only thing he got in trouble for. Apparently, first off, the judge didn't think it was funny at all. It's like, look, like you were putting lives in danger rolling around on a hoverboard. I don't know if you've seen like Mike Tyson try to get on one. Like it didn't end well for that guy. The other thing is, like I said, he was like embezzling, he was frauding, he was doing all sorts of other stuff. The other final detail in the story was apparently he said when he got this job, the offer was that he could either make $240,000 a year, or he could, if he made more than that by bringing in his own patients, then they would pay him that. I had no idea dentists made $240,000 a year, bro.
Cash, bro.
I did not know that.
Cash and checks. Dentists are cash and checks.
I'm not trying to be that guy, but
Ripping out teeth and cash and checks.
$250,000, bro. Like I did not know that's what was going on in the dentist game. So we picked the wrong profession. Let me see your teeth. You got any? Let's do your flight.
I'd have to go back.
Yeah.
There it is. Nope. Where did I put it?
Did we put it somewhere?
There it is.
All right. Lamb, you want to introduce us?
All right. So apparently, a lot of flights can't be traveling right now. COVID problems. No traveling allowed. But some of these airlines apparently coming up with ideas. Flights to nowhere. So you board the airline. They get up, fly around, land back at the same airport. Few hours.
I hate it.
So like this one, apparently, and it's catching on. Sold out, all these flights.
Apparently, it's sold out in 10 minutes.
Yeah. This one is in Australia, Qantas. Apparently, they'll fly over the Great Barrier Reef, around Uluru, the monument, around a little bit, check out all the sights, and then land back at the airport. Sounds like the worst way to see something is out of this tiny porthole window that 12 other people are trying to look out the same window.
This is the only, you guys aren't missing anything. It's not like they're playing some great movie. It's not like there's going to be something exciting going on the plane. People are quite literally paying for a plane to take off in an airport, fly around in the sky for a little bit, and then land in the same airport.
How much would you pay?
I mean, I would literally, if y'all don't know this, I am scared to death to fly. I hate flying.
But how much do you think this flight cost?
$150.
You'd be way wrong. I was shocked when I saw this. So the prices ranged from, we'll say it in U.S. dollars. $575 was the cheapest flight. Most expensive flight, I'm assuming, first class, $2,765. Also, apparently, this was the they said the fastest selling flight in Qantas history.
Okay, somebody please.
130 some odd seats they sold.
Somebody please explain this. Okay, first off, I hate flying. I'm scared of flying. I don't like it.
But you don't have to bring any checked bags. You don't have to check any bags.
I still got to go through like the metal detector. I still got to wait in line. I still got to board the plane with idiots.
Airports are empty, bro. You slide right in. No bags. You just roll right up to security. You don't even have a backpack.
To get on the one thing that I don't want to be on, which is the plane. I legitimately, this boggled my mind. Okay, and I do know.
But they probably got Annie Ann's pretzels and stuff like that. They're Wetzel's pretzels or something.
For $68. I've been next to people on planes that have looked next to me like, oh, you don't like flying, huh? As my knees are bouncing up and down, I'm pouring sweat, and they're like, oh, you don't like flying? I'm like, no, I don't like flying. But some people are like, oh, I love it, man. I kick my feet up, I relax. I'm just like, I wish I could be that person to kick my feet up and relax. I'm not that guy. It actually blew me away that somebody's willing to pay $500 to get on a plane.
For the cheap seats.
For the cheap seats. To fly them around a few circles and land their ass back down.
Of the country they live in.
That is a scam. And
they're not even flying over other countries. You can't yo, let's at least check something else out.
I'm angry at the person that came up with it and proud of them at the same time because they made their company a ton of money. Yeah, see?
Yep.
$2,000 to go nowhere. That's what I'm saying. Not even going anywhere.
Spend the day on an airplane.
You take off at LAX, they land your ass back
What
at
if they let you fly it a little?
Definitely in now.
All right, your turn.
But if I knew that everybody else gets a turn,
I
I'm
know.
definitely out. I don't trust anybody. There's one schmuck on there. It's got a bad sense of humor.
Yo, I bet I could do a barrel roll.
accidentally hit the eject button. No. That we thought that story was actually hilarious. Had to share it with you guys. What do you want to move on to, Lamb?
I think I got to make a little bathroom run.
All right.
I'll be back
All right.
shortly.
All right. Lamb's gonna make a bathroom. All right. Well, for us though, we are gonna. You know what? I'm gonna take over the buttons, dude.
Yeah,
You know what?
See what you do.
I want to see what the buttons. I don't normally
Tell
work.
me how this goes.
Yeah, this is a live show, guys. So every now and again, things get weird. Let's move over here. Is our headphones different over here? All right, this is nice. I like this. All right. So I want to move on for a story for you guys that I thought was kind of cool. Actually, I might just go into sports with you guys here. Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's go into. Okay, here we go. This was something for me that I had a good chuckle at. If you guys haven't, let's go into sports ball here. Let me hit the sound effect for you guys. The goalie drops back, catcher punch near the rim, slam, dunk, touchdown.
Sports ball.
Damn, headphones moving out of the way. All right, so sports ball here. I got to get into a couple things with you guys. First off, hey, Lamb, welcome back. So first off, sports ball, Clippers had a massive choke. We've got two of the worst sports franchises in history going at it tonight. If you guys want to watch that, but I did. Lamb, you look a little different.
No, this is me. This is Liam, dude.
Oh, you know what?
CrossFit forever.
Okay, you do. You just look ever so slightly different. Can you prove that you're Lamb in any sense?
I was messing with the computers. And all that.
Okay, you know what? Here we go, guys. No, this is our crew chief. This is my main man, Tone Logue. This is my brother. He is shit pole tonight. That's right. We thought we'd have him in here for the last 20 minutes. Lamb, in all honesty, has to do teacher crap. So he actually did have to leave. So we wanted to show you guys some funny stuff here before we get out of here. I'm going to have some goofy questions for Tone, and then we're going to let you guys watch some football. I did want to show you this. I'm an avid golfer. I love golfing. But this was absolutely the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. You never, ever, ever see a pro do something so embarrassing. Tony, have you seen this video?
No, what's this?
This is Rory McIlroy here, bro. About to get a rip going, dude. Look, he's lining up about 200 yards.
Is this today?
This was last week. Really gets a hold of this thing, dude. Hey, see, he's trying to eye it up.
Oh, Rory. Dude, what happened?
Okay,
Oh.
in his defense, the ball was in a pretty rough lie, but I legitimately, in my entire career of golf, have never seen a pro do that.
Rory, I hate to see it.
Yeah, you really do hate to see it. All right, so Tone, we got Tone here. Let's get into it. Tone, we watched the Clippers play the other night. They choked horribly, and then there was some banter afterwards between the players. Do you think these Clippers are going to bring it back together next year? Do you think there's already too much harm done?
No, man, I think you got to give it one more go.
One more go.
Yeah. I think you can't just pull out now. I think you got to give it one more go.
Okay, what about Paul George? Does Paul George come back?
Nah, he's a bum, dude.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Paul George is a bum. We got to get him out of here. What about tonight's game? We got Cleveland against Cincinnati. Paul's calling it the shit bowl.
What did Cleveland have last week? Like 6 points?
Just grand total, dude. Grand total 6 points.
It's gonna be a real slugfest tonight.
It's gonna be a real slugfest tonight.
Cincinnati, maybe?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Cincinnati too. While we had Tony on here, I wrote a couple goofy questions for him for you guys just to have some fun with before we get off the show here. All of these are questions. There's so many of these that I'm just gonna pick one that I like here. All right. So I read this the other day and I had some feelings on it. I want to see what Tony thinks. Who would you pick as the ambassador for Earth if aliens showed up? We got to get somebody to go over, talk to the aliens, and impress them about our culture. Who are we sending over there?
You and Liam were talking about having like The Rock on here earlier. I kind of like that.
Yeah, I like The Rock. I think
Super nice guy, huge. Like, okay.
kind of intimidating, right?
Yeah.
Let them know we're not playing around. I also thought it'd be a great idea if we had The Rock show up with Kevin Hart. I thought it'd be great. They could kind of.
What did you guys say earlier? You'd be confused if it was like two different species.
Yeah, the aliens might be a little confused. They're like, why is this one so big? Why is this one so small? So I thought that would be really great. In all honesty, if we really did have a human ambassador, it's going to have to be somebody fit. It's going to have to be somebody well-spoken. It's going to have to be somebody that we like. So I can't have we can't have like Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg like leading us leading us off that way. So I don't want that.
You gotta try and think we're ripping us off or something.
You guys, yeah. What is this Facebook thing? Okay, real quick, Tony. If you had to win one game show, any game show, in order for you to stay alive, I know.
Dude, I gotta do the was it the Ninja Warrior?
Oh, you don't even think about the Ninja Warrior. That's a great idea, Tony. That's a great idea. All right, I'll give you an air horn for that.
I'm not doing the shopping one.
Oh my God.
Get crushed.
Okay, just recently.
I don't know where anything is at the grocery store.
Just recently, they decided they were going to come out with a new supermarket sweepstakes, and I vented about this off air. Can somebody explain to me what the deal with the Superstar Sweepstakes is, that show in general? I've watched it a few times back in the day, and I felt like the whole object was to go get the most expensive crap and come back to the front. But everybody just went and got, like, steaks and big chunks of meat. Like, it wasn't even that interesting. I don't even know why we brought it back. So that's not the one you're going to be... what about, like, Wheel of Fortune?
No, I don't know. I'm not 100.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I got you. All right. Final question here for you, T. What else we got here? Let's see what's pull out here of the grab bag of questions we keep handy by. All right. If you could fight one celebrity, and if you win, you get to take this person's life, their wealth, their fame, and their skill set. Who do you think? Because you don't want to lose this fight now. I mean, my first instinct is somebody rich, right? You got to fight for somebody rich. But you can't go, you can't fight The Rock, right?
Yeah. Dude, it's got to be Jeff Bezos, man.
You taking out Jeff Bezos?
I'm knocking his ass out.
All right, but what if he shows up ready to square with you? What if he's been working on his game? You taking Jeff Bezos out? I'm saying, dude, I think there's still a pretty good chance I take Tom Brady, dude. You think you take Tom Brady? He's like 40 something, dude.
Yeah, I think I'd take problem.
I think I'm taking Tom Brady too. Fantastic. Shit, let's see what else we got in here. Is there any other questions here that I can rattle off on you? Probably not. Nope, not at all. Just empty stuff. Man, guys, we appreciate you hanging in. We wanted to bring in Tony. He is he's our true chief. He helps us out with a lot of different stuff. And if you didn't know this, I'm not going to give Tony credit for this because it could get him in trouble, and we don't know who it is exactly. But somebody has been going around and taking 2 Dumb Idiot stickers and covering the entire Los Angeles landscape.
Terrible.
It's just terrible. I went to get groceries the other day, and they were on the Red Box. They were on the grocery store door. So as far as LA is concerned, 2 Dumb Idiots is the only podcast that they're allowed to listen to, which I like. As crew chief, what are your daily duties, Tony?
Oh, man. I do a little lighting, a little tech work, mess with the sound, some of the bandwidth.
None of that happens. You want to hit the fart button one time while you're on air?
I hit the horn button.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, the horn button. And let me give you something else here. What else we got here? You gotta get the Arnold, dude. You gotta get this. Hit this button.
Answer the question.
Yeah, that's very important stuff. All right, guys, we're gonna let you guys go. Go ahead and watch the Thursday Night Football, excuse me. We will be back next Monday. We've already got some really great shows for you guys planned Monday. We've got some game shows, some quizzes. Monday's show should be packed. Do not miss it. As always, appreciate you guys hanging in with me. Like I said, we got some subscriptions today, some new followers. I appreciate that, guys, so much. You guys are great. Chat's always been hilarious. You guys are always keep it real. Again, I'm Nick.
I'm Tony.
And Kevin. This is Tony and Kevin right here. And appreciate you guys hanging in. We will be back next Monday. Love you guys, man. And you guys have a good weekend, guys. See you guys on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, I've been called dumb once or twice in my life.
Hey, guys, thanks for following us along. Another good clip here. Make sure to catch us out on Twitch and hit that subscribe button right here.